Hey everyone, so just kind of wanted to go over a few updates on my G here. I got it inside. I've had some time to really look it over in detail. Kind of been working on a plan of attack. You can see I'm not in the normal shop. All my other videos are in my bees over there, and there's no room, so we're in the main farm building here. I was hoping get this thing running smooth and well, and then kind of work on different things at a time. Might have to get a little knee deep in it at first, more than I expected, and I'll kind of go through that a little bit. So I guess for starters, so she runs. She's still not running quite right. I think the gasket is missing here at the front of the carburetor. So that's why she's wanting to run with a little bit of choke. I think she's getting a little too much air there, running a little lean. You can see right now I had the starter tank hooked up. Originally I had a auxiliary tank that I was running off of a lawnmower. I got looking inside the main tank, and it's pretty rusty and looking kind of gnarly in there. So one of the first things that I want to attack is take this hood off, get to that gas tank, clean it out, get the rust out, and get that in better condition, because I know those tanks are expensive, refurbished ones and everything, or to get them fixed. So I really want to take care of that, nip that in the bud before it gets bad. The starter tank, though, looks excellent inside. Nice, clean metal. So that's why I actually hooked that line up and then fed that to the carburetor for now, because the line, I didn't have the right piece to connect to the three-way valve, and the switch is missing and all that. So all of that will come in time. But for now, just have that starter line. Originally, I put some antifreeze in it the other day, and when I had it running, and son of a gun, if it wasn't leaking. It was actually leaking in. Turn my spotlight on. Under here, where it connects to the block. Funny story on that. So I took it apart, and I was prepared to put a new gasket on it and everything. And there was a gasket on it, but it was ripped. Okay, that's an easy fix. Well, the way this works, so even though this is a 49, somebody added the water pump to it. So I assume, I'm not super familiar with the G's, but I would say, to my knowledge, this is a special bottom radiator piece that allows for the water pump. So somebody at some point replaced this radiator, or at least the bottom piece. I'm not sure if the bottom mates up with the rest. But you've got a pipe in the middle here that, get my light a little bit better on it. There's an O-ring in here and an O-ring in here. Now, you take your two bolts out here, and this can drop down, but it's kind of tight. So yes, I slided this in silicone right now, and I know that's a crime by most people, but it's a temporary thing. I just kind of wanted to seal the leak back here. But anyway, what I was getting at was, this is so tight that you have to start to engage this part first and then bring up this rear end. It's so tight that you totally screw up your gasket maker and everything, and especially your gasket, while you're trying to bring that up. So I ended up, for now, there's just a silicone gasket maker in there, but it worked. I put some water in it before I put antifreeze in it to make sure everything was good and no leaks on that. So hey, all right, we're rolling. And now the next set of bad news is, if we can look inside here, the bottom of the radiator is leaking. You can see it's on the tire here. As I mentioned, somebody's replaced this core or at least the radiator at some point. The core looks straight as an arrow. There's no dings or dents in it. And it looks to me like the leak is solely with the bottom gasket. That's what I'm really hoping and praying for, because a gasket kit is a lot cheaper than a gasket kit and a core. There wasn't oil in the oil bath, so I also thought that might be a reason why it was running a little lean. Got some oil in there, but I don't know that I'm going to have this running again in the super near future anytime soon. So that's the story on that. I want to fix the radiator. I want to work on the gas tank. I want to get all new lines. Here's the original line that went to the carb. So I just need another true line that goes to the starter tank if I want to hook that up. I talked with somebody about running kerosene in this tractor, but may just run gasoline in it. Trying to think of what else going on here. The brake, this brake gets stuck. So at some point we're gonna take that off and address that. The transmission, well, I was driving it around. I had it in gear, and long story short, and I won't do it now because I don't want to get myself in trouble again. The shifter, I think the snap ring is off on the bottom or something. The shifter can pull out, and then you lose track of where you are. You can get it in 2 gears. So while I've got the hood off and the steering shaft out, I'm going to disconnect all this, pop that off, and need to work on that shifter. So that's a high priority. So far, shifter, gas tank, radiator. Does have gear oil in it, though it is a little low. It looks pretty milky. I looked in the back port back here. I think my plan for this tractor, though, other than the gas tank and the radiator, I really want to start from the back to the front. The engine, of course, could be very expensive to do on this, so I'm kind of holding that off right now for financial reasons. So I figure working in the back here, if it's anything like my B, it should be take it apart, check it out, clean things up. Hopefully there shouldn't be too much that can really be wrong with it. You can see it looks like it was leaking oil out there, so we're going to just replace gaskets, take everything apart, and kind of work our way forward. So I may start with the power troll here. I really don't think I'm going to work on that per se right away. I may just take that off for the time being. Take off all of the PTO parts. Take off this whole rear end housing. Take the rock shaft parts off. Check out the cylinder and the leather cap at the top. And then probably once that's all off, I'm probably going to, at that point, replace the axle seals, since we're, right here. Jack this thing up, see if I can get the wheels free, or not really the shafts, but the spindles, the hubs on the shaft. I've thought about, and I'm going to see if I can do this, but the wheels are in so much on this that I really want to move them out anyways. But I've thought about just unbolting the center from the hub and just kind of having that self-supported here. And then, you don't have to actually take the whole wheel and everything away. Then the hub and the axle, I can just move out. So I may try that to minimize the scope right now. But like I said, I want to move those wheels out at some point, because they're kind of in. It'd be nice to move them out 3 inches or so. I've heard people complain about it. With these fenders on, it certainly is a lot harder to get on and off. You just don't have the room. But I'm going to keep those on because I feel a lot better with my son riding. So yeah, that's that. Oh, one other thing I did, I put a new brake pad on here. The one that was on here was down to bare metal. I had an extra one because on my B, I had this one which is just like the clips on the ends. I went and put one that actually riveted onto my B. So we got that fixed. And yeah, and I got a new muffler, which had burned the coating off. I don't know that it was really a permanent coating on it, but anyways, muffler on it, so it's a little bit quieter. That old muffler it had on it was not being effective. I think it was basically a straight pipe. And then the way it was working, it was blowing actually flame down towards the hood here, since this wasn't quite running right, so that's why this is a little black. So yeah, that's my plan of attack. So hopefully, I don't know, in a few weeks here, I'll get you guys some videos of working on any of those things. I don't really know which order I'll go, gas tank or radiator or start on the rear end. I don't plan on moving this anytime soon, so really the transmission shifter is not the highest priority for sure, because I may just have this thing sit here and, like I said, work my way forward up into the transmission. So, all right, guys, well, have a good day, and hopefully you all had a Merry Christmas, and look forward to getting you guys something else soon on this. Talk to you guys later.